Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with his, I guess it's still working on his Overdue Bitch here. I'm still working on these books that I had accumulated over the break that I took from my previous last video. But before we get started on that, I just wanted to touch on this right here. This is G.I. Joe 61. Reason I'm showing this is I mentioned this in my last video, and I stated that this cover was done by Marshall Rogers, which in turn is not true, or in fact is not true. It was done by Mike Zack. And Leslie Fletcher was nice enough to point that out to me, so thank you for correcting me, Leslie. I appreciate that. Marshall did do some work on this book, and that's maybe where I got it. I'm not going to come up with an excuse at all, but so nonetheless, thank you so much, Leslie. I do appreciate that. So let's keep it going here. Finished off right around here last time, so we're just going to keep it going. Here is Marvel Family number 21. It's it's nothing special, but it's a Golden Age book, and I got it at a really good price. So anytime I can get Golden Age stuff at a reasonable price, I'm always going to snatch it up. So very, very cool. Marvel Tales number 98. This reprints Amazing Spider-Man 121, The Death of Gwen Stacy. And I think everyone ad nauseum has talked about these that know about it, is that if you can find the reprints of the key issues of Spider-Man, the 129, 121, 122, number one, those types of things, well worth the money if you can get them at a normal price. This book will go for $30 to $40 on eBay fairly easily. It's a really sharp copy. All right, was able to pick up. Now this is another book that it has that camp, the two camp kind of a thing going on. This is Megaton 2. Now, as we know, as most of you may know, this is the first, people call this the cameo of Savage Dragon, who was done by Eric Larson. Now, Eric Larson also did a kind of a magazine kind of a thing that I don't think it ran very long. For 2 issues, maybe a little bit more than that. However, right on the cover is a character that he created that he just calls Dragon. Now, and it's a dragon. It's created by Eric Larson. Most people would call that the first appearance of Savage Dragon, but there are people that think that this would be, or Megaton 3 would be, the first full appearance of Savage Dragon. I'm of the camp that believes that Graphic Fantasy number 1 is his first appearance. I would love to have that book. Stupidly hard to find that book. If somebody has it, that's usually a $500 to $1,000 book. So, yeah, tough book to find. All right, was able to pick up Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers by Hamilton, and that's the first real full-fledged. There was an underwear comic, believe it or not, that predates this. That is the actual first appearance of the Morphin Power Rangers. But for all intents and purposes, people are calling this the first issue, first appearance of the Power Rangers. So, all right, here's another Golden Age book that I picked up. I paid $2 for it. This is something I normally wouldn't pick up, but for $2 from 1957, I'm going to pick it up. There is a rip in the cover right here. Other than that, it's not so bad. The staples are there. Everything's attached. So, boy, does that not look like Archie so I don't know. But from 1957, I thought that was kind of cool. So a couple of Golden Age books, kind of a rarity for me to show. This is Moon Knight number 6. This is the Bloody Hand variant. Beautiful David Finch cover there. Believe it or not, I never owned this book until recently. Nom number 1. Just happened to find it for, I think, $1 or $2. So it's probably not worth much more than that. All right, here's an interesting book. New Gods 17, Volume 3. Reason I'm showing this book is that recently they showed some unreleased or footage that was not part of the Batman versus Superman movie. And what it is it shows an alien juggling or working with what people are calling mother boxes, And it doesn't look like any specific thing in person or character in comics. So people are doing a lot of speculating. They're thinking it could be Darkseid. They think it could be Steppenwolf. Oh, I should have pulled that out. That Steppenwolf is his first appearance is in the first series of New Gods, issue number 7. I do have that. I'll try to pull it out later if I can. But this is the character that people are starting to gravitate more and more to, it seems like. And they're thinking it could be his father, Darkseid's father, who actually had a father. I cannot pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name. But his first appearance is in this book right here, New Gods 17, Volume 3, if you're interested. All right, here is Nomad number 15. The only reason I'm showing this is that this also has a Deadpool appearance in it, and as well as number 4. That number 4, obviously, Deadpool's on the cover, so it has a little sexier, more of an appeal. But this Deadpool shows up in here. All right, Plastic Man number 1 from his first Silver Age series. Nothing spectacular, but hey, I thought it was kind of a cool pickup. This is a very appropriate pickup. Number 2 of Preacher. I didn't pay $35 for it. I paid $10 for it. This is the first appearance. It's, oh my God. Oh, is this Tulip? First appearance of Tulip, I believe. It's the last key beside and along with the preview that I need. I do have issues 1, 2 now, 12, 13, the other ones. So I'm just missing like 4 or 5 issues of Preacher to fill it. All right, so this book had some commotion going on around it for a little while there. Prophet. Now, the reason it had some commotion and some talk going on about it is that apparently there was some talks of this becoming a television show, I believe. And however, they believe that if it does come to fruition, this is the Prophet that would come into play. Now, to put it in perspective or context, the first 20 issues were in the original series were done with a different Prophet. And then this is kind of all for intensive purposes a reboot. And this particular cover is the second printing of it. So if you're interested, that is something you might want to look for. All right. Hope that made sense. All right. This one, I think it was Marky who first showed this to me or mentioned it. This is Razor Annual 1. This is the first appearance of Billy Tucci's She, S-H-I, who is really probably one of arguably his most famous creation. And this book is actually signed by Mr. Tucci himself, so happy about that. All right. Like these rock and roll comics, they're not worth a lot, except for the first print of number 1 with Guns N' Roses. That can still get $5, $10, 15 maybe. But this is number 11 with Aerosmith. All right. Rom number 23. This is just a cool cover to me with the Heroes for Hire and with Luke Cage coming at the end of this summer here. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Not really huge on autographs, but this was kind of a no-brainer. I got the book ridiculously cheap. This is a pretty darn nice copy of Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 1. And it's also signed by Jim Steranko right here. So very happy about that. So very, very cool. Just love that cover on there too. So big Steranko fan, like I think most everybody else is. All right, some showcases. Here's number 73. This is the first appearance of Creeper. This is a beautiful copy of this book, too. Really, really nice condition on that. This is issue number 80, which is the first Silver Age appearance of the Phantom Stranger. So very, very cool to have that in my collection. And who knows, with all the Justice League Dark stuff, who knows what's going on with that. But, all right, going to show you 3 books here. And there is a reason why. This is Silver Surfer number 5 out of number 6 and number 7 with the Frankenstein monster. out of the first ongoing series, which ran 18 issues. The reason I'm showing you this is that this actually completes my series 1 of Silver Surfer. So I'm very happy to have that now. All right. These, I actually was just speaking about this particular issue with Omega Shinryu Kin on his Instagram. But here is Spidey Super Stories. I'm getting to be more and more, I'm getting to like these more and more. They got some really cool covers, and they got a few of them that are well worth picking up. This is number 16, which has the homage to Jaws. This is this is just a cool cover. Number 31 with Moondragon, Doctor Doom, and obviously a Star Wars homage. And this is the Star Jaws. And speaking of Star Wars, I came across Marvel Age number 10 with the Star Wars information there. And then this is the very first issue of Spidey Super Stories. Now, the reason I'm showing this is that it's a number 1, but when you think about this, this is really technically the second ongoing series of Spider-Man. This predates Spectacular Spider-Man by almost 2 full years. This started in 74. Spectacular Spider-Man started in 76. So, you know, and this ran for 57 issues, something like that. So it did have quite a long tenure. It ran into the 80s, I believe. So, all right, speaking of Spidey, here is the Niagara Falls reprint to Amazing Spider-Man 252, the first appearance of the black costume. Now, what these Niagara Falls books are is, I've always wanted one of them too, but I'm glad I have this, is that this was an amusement park in the Niagara Falls area that actually worked with Marvel, and they would reprint comics to give away. And they actually did 4 Spider-Man books, of which they did the 252, they did the 300, and then they did Ultimate Spider-Man number 6, and lastly they did Marvel Age number 2. Of those 4, the Marvel Age number 2 was by far the most coveted and the hardest to find. Apparently what happened was there was a water leak or something in the building that was storing these Marvel Age 2 books, and it damaged a big chunk of the print of it. So much harder to find a copy of Marvel Age number 2 Niagara Falls. So hope that makes sense. Picked up an Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Comic Spider-Man, number 1. I don't understand what makes this comic so sought after. This is like a $10 to $20 book. I don't quite get it. I don't know. But anyway, picked up some Dave Stevens stuff to add to my collection. This is all Dave Stevens covers here. This is Mr. Monster. Very cool cover. All right. I love this cover. This is Twisted Tales with Elvira on the cover there. So very cool to have that. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle 3D. Is that not some gorgeous cover there? Now, this is the Dark Horse stuff. It is so hard for me to follow Dark Horse stuff. There's so many minis and stuff like that. It just confuses the bejesus out of me. So I usually stay away from Dark Horse stuff. But this one I did know about. In fact, it was Comic Hoarder 410 who mentioned this the first time. This is Star Wars, The Dark Empire 2, issue number 5. This is the gold variant. There were only 5,000 of them were released. And this is the first appearance of the Solo twins, Han and Leia kids. And this book easily is a $100 book on eBay at any given time. So if you can find this book, the gold version, I would suggest picking it up. Couple more books. I think these came from Undisputed Frost. It was a trade. I think it was Joe. If it wasn't you, I apologize. But this is Vader Down, the black and white comic box variant. And then this is the variant to Star Wars 13. All right. This is a book, I think it was John Wynn. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, John. Jay and Guy, they also use your they call you on YouTube. But I saw him post this. I believe it was him on Instagram. This is Strange Adventures 215. And what makes this significant is this is technically, or actually, the first appearance of the League of Assassins. It's the first appearance of Sensei, and it's also a Neil Adams cover. So there's a lot going for this book, and it's relatively, undervalued. And so this is a book I've been looking for quite some time. Strange Adventures number 205, First Dead Man. There is a little thing going, a little bit of the cover missing right up here, but I got it at such a great price. I'm happy with it. If I get a chance to upgrade it, I will, but I'm happy with this for now. All right. A lot of strange tales I picked up. This is actually, first of them, this is issue number 118. What makes this important, and I think it was maybe it was Captain America or Erod or somebody like that mentioned it. If I'm not giving you credit, please forgive me. But this is actually the first cover appearance of Doctor Strange, number 118. So happy about that. This book I'd been wanting for quite some time, so I'm very happy to have it in my collection. Strange Tales 123, the first appearance of the Beetle, who was a big part of the Thunderbolts. So, all right. Strange. I swear to God, I felt like I was the only person on the planet that did not have this in his collection. Strange Tales 126, first appearance of Clea, first appearance of the Dread Dormammu. I hope I pronounced that correctly. All right, here is Strange Tales 151. This is the first Jim Steranko Marvel work, so pretty cool. Strange Tales 144. This is the first appearance of Agent Sitwell, who appears in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV show. This is the first appearance of the Tribunal, which is Strange Tales 157. All right, let's get these out of the way. And this, I'm only showing this for a couple of reasons. This is Suicide Squad 59. One, it's just a kick-ass cover as far as I'm concerned. And secondly, this completes my run on the original Suicide Squad. 160-some issues, so I do have that complete now. And this was by far the toughest one for me to find. I ended up having to pay $8 for this, which was like 8 times more than I paid for any of the other books probably in the series. This one, I know I'm way late, but remember, I hadn't made a video for quite some time. This is Supergirl, The New Adventures of Supergirl number 8. This is the first appearance of Reactron. Oh, and speaking of who made her appearance in Supergirl, I should have pulled this too. I apologize. Boy, I'm not on my game today. But Eve Torres from WWE fame is going to be playing Maxima on Supergirl. So that's pretty cool. All right, here is the Superman 246. This is actually the first appearance of Star Laboratories. Now, when you think about it, Star Laboratories has made their appearances in the cartoons, television, movies, comics. I mean, it's a pretty big organization in the DC mythos, for sure in the Superman mythos. So, first appearance of Star Laboratories, issue 246. All right, pretty poor copy, but I paid $2 for it, $3. No, I paid $2.50 for it. Lois Lane 105, first appearance of Rose and Thorn. So interesting. Lois Lane, oh my God, what is this one? Lois Lane 74. This is the first appearance of the Bizarro Flash. Happy to have that in my collection. And this one here, this is my first Foom magazine. I picked up Foom 15. And the reason I picked this up is for several reasons. One, has Howard the Duck on it, Steve Gerber. I'm a big Gerber fan. But more importantly, it does have some stuff that I thought was kind of cool. It has, first of all, here is a big-ass column on Miss Marvel, which predates Miss Marvel number 1, this book right here, by a few months. And then it also has a big thing on Captain Britain, which predates Captain Britain #1. So if you're a Captain Britain fan, if you're a Miss Marvel fan, if you like these kind of things, I'm not calling them first appearances. Don't get it, wrong or anything. You make your own decision on that. But if you like that kind of thing, this might be a book to put on your radar. If you are looking to get Captain Britain #1, make sure it has the mask in it right there, okay? So I want to make sure it has the mask in there. So, all right. And that's pretty much it for my... Oh, no, it wasn't. I wanted to ask you guys one thing, if I could. I'm confused on something here. All right. I know there's a lot of Batman Beyond fans out there, and people are of the camp that are thinking that this is his first appearance in the regular DC books, is annual #4 of Superman Batman, which came out in 2010. Now, what confuses me is if you look at issue 22 of the same series, which came out 5 years earlier in 2005, this to me looks like Batman from Batman Beyond to me right there. And, granted, it's only one panel in this book, but if you want more than that, he shows up for like 2 or 3 panels in this one, the next issue, 23. And then lastly, he shows up in a countdown, one of the countdown books, which all predate the annual, the Superman Batman annual. So I don't get it, but hey, it is what it is. So if you're a big Batman Beyond fan, you might want to pick up issues 22 and 23 of the same series. So, all right, hope that makes sense. So, in closing, I just wanted to congratulate Tim Morant on being a new grandfather. I wanted to welcome back one of the OGs, Scott Custom Bromstar. You have been very well, or you are a sight for sore eyes to have back in the community, and I am very, very happy to see you there, back where you belong. And then wanted to say my farewells. I know I'm way late on this, but I believe his name was Ron, Comic Book Estate and Clouded Journey. Both of them took a couple of different jobs, which are prohibiting them from having time to spend on YouTube. So I wish those guys, if they watch this, all the luck and all the best in your you will be in my thoughts and prayers until we see you come back home yourselves. With that, that is Vin Cruz saying thank you so much and have a nice day.